Imagine it is the final of a football tournament. The score is 1-all. You get a penalty with a minute left for the final whistle. The stadium goes completely silent. A sigh here and there in anticipation. The fate of your country in your hands. It's just you and the goal now. The only thing standing in your way to victory is the goalkeeper. You are all set to take that shot. The referee blows the whistle. Will you be able to strike the ball? Will you be able to take that perfect shot as you've been taking in your practice sessions? You've probably done it over 100 times. The only difference is the added pressure of all the hopes and aspirations of everyone on you. Even the best striker cannot go through that nerve-wracking moment with absolute composure. But the main difference between a layman and the best is that the best works on himself to such an extent where he is able to handle that enormous pressure of the eyes of 50,000 spectators. How did he do it? How did he build this capacity? Was he born with the ability to manage stress? Of course not. He has consciously worked towards it. He has gradually and meticulously prepared himself physically and mentally for such difficult situations. Life is a game. In order to play this game effectively, we need to work systematically and diligently to emerge a winner. You can't go into a game without preparing. No matter how weak you think a team is, you can never undermine them. It is the same in life as well. No matter how small an issue may be, you need to learn to deal with it because ignoring it won't resolve it and will someday be your downfall. According to the World Health Organization, stress can be defined as a state of worry or mental tension caused by a difficult situation. It is an emotion that is intended to assist you deal with difficult situations. But when you're under a lot of stress, you develop mental health issues. Stress makes it hard to relax and can come with a range of emotions such as anxiety and irritability. When you're under tremendous pressure, your stress level increases. However, you find it hard to concentrate and be productive. One faces physical discomforts such as headache, body ache, an upset stomach, or sleeplessness. It affects his day-to-day life and his overall performance as well. In life, one has to deal with many competing deadlines such as assignments and homeworks. It can be overwhelming and you may feel it is impossible to keep up with everything. Don't try to do too much at once. Give yourself time and focus on one thing at a time. Even if you are not able to complete everything, acknowledge and recognize the progress you have made. Before going into a game, a player always strategizes. Similarly, you too need to plan before you move from one milestone to another. You need to learn more about developing strategies to plan your time in order to stay calm, organized, and on top of everything. When you get frustrated, you tend to make a lot of mistakes. Similarly, in a game, when the team is losing 2-0, the players become very desperate. They begin to play aggressively and make unnecessary fouls. Similarly, you too get annoyed and stop being productive. Organizing your thoughts can make you feel more in control. Jot down all the issues that bother you the most. Try to work on the things that are in your control. Releasing some of that burden is going to make you feel better. Just because your last game did not go as expected does not mean your next game will go the same way too. Learn from the mistakes you have made in order to be better prepared for your next game. At times, when you feel you're too stuck in the past or are too worried about the future, you need to remember that the past is gone. What is done cannot be changed, and the future is not here yet. You don't know what is going to happen. The only moment over which you have complete control is the present, and you need to make the most of it. Sometimes it is better to look for motivation. Athletes hype themselves up before going for a game. They reiterate themselves that they are the best and that they're going to win. They might not be the most competent player in the league, but they still believe in their abilities. Why do you think that is? How you talk to yourself greatly influences how you feel about yourself. If you be too harsh and belittle yourself, you might start believing the voice of that internal critic. And don't get me wrong, you are your most effective critic. So instead, learn to cut yourself some slack and be more supportive so that you can realize your full potential to become the best version of yourself. The work that you do off the field is very important. It reflects on your performance on the field. The work that you do when no one is looking is the real test. A typical football league usually consists of 38 games for each team, and the winner is decided by the team that finishes on top at the end of those games. There are many teams which are dominant and keep winning every year, but one thing you will never see is them winning every game. Even the strongest team will lose at some point. Life is same. There are always going to be ups and downs. It's how you get back on your track that truly defines you. Before I go, I want everyone to understand that stress does not always have a negative impact. Some have the capacity to encourage us, push ourselves beyond our limits. They help us to develop a problem-solving attitude, which in turn builds resilience, making the results of our work more fruitful. I would like to leave with the words of Irwin Magic Johnson. There is winning, there is losing, and in life, both will happen. What is never acceptable is quitting. Thank you.